All right, hi everyone. My name is Silvia Pereida, and today we'll be talking about Budweiser's remake of the Whassup campaign. It's a PSA to America. So let's get started. So first of all, we need to talk about the COVID-19 pandemic and how it's changed a lot of things for a lot of people. Of course, shopping behaviors is one of them here in the US, as many states went into lockdown mode and governors forced stay-at-home orders. A lot of Americans went into panic buying. A lot of people stocked up on essentials that included alcohol, and it also included beer. And market research found that big packs of beer were the ones that sold the quickest. And we also saw that video chat became very popular with a lot of families and friends who were practicing social distancing but still needed that human connection. And then we saw virtual happy hours pop up. The need for socializing with friends over a drink turned into a new pastime for people who were used to going out with their friends. And it provided a social distraction amid everything that was going on. So Budweiser decided to bring a little bit of ease and comfort to its customer base. And so they did the ultimate Throwback Thursday by remaking the Whassup campaign for 2020. Made it for the stay-at-home era, of course, as people practice social distancing. So if you remember the 1999 version, group of friends are watching the Super Bowl ad. They all get on their corded phones, if you remember those, and say, "What's up?" And they became so popular, and you either loved it or hated it. But for the most part, it was a success. It was so popular that even friends showed it. And in Scary Movie, we saw it becomes a popular phrase to use. So it rose to pop culture fandom. Now, 2 decades later, Budweiser decided, hey, let's bring it back. Only this time we see a little bit of a lot, actually a big change. Not with the socializing aspect, but with like the way it's shot. So if you recognize, this is Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and Candace Parker, all in basketball superstars, and Gabrielle Union, who's Dwayne Wade's wife. So they all join in a Zoom chat styles. And of course, they use the iconic phrase, "What's up?" But in this 90-second spot, we actually see the ad take on a more serious tone without sounding tone deaf. Of course, we're all stuck at home. And Dwayne Wade asks his friend Chris, "For real though, what's up with everybody?" And his wife follows up, "Are you all staying safe?" Chris replies, "Hey, thanks for asking. The family's doing great. It's really nice to see you." And so this ad ends with, "Checking in, that's what's up." And we see in the final slate a new hotline that has been formed in part with the Salvation Army to provide people with the option to call in if they're struggling, and also to give them a sense of hope that we're all in this together. So Budweiser adds the experiential value to its target audience. It appeals to that human connection, that emotional connection that a lot of brands are aiming for right now. So with this ad, we see Budweiser take on the form of a PSA and bringing and encouraging its audience to check in on their friends and family while still practicing social distance. So who's the target market? The target market, of course, is millennials because this ad came out in 1999. People who remember that ad will be taken back in time to that time and space and will be really interested in this newer version if, they really love that ad. Of course, it also targets the average beer consumer who is less about frills, who just wants to stock up, to save money, or just provide that sense of comfort with brands that they're familiar with. The marketing channels that this ad was distributed on was primarily on digital. So that means that it was not used, it wasn't shown through the traditional medium that was used in 1990s, and that's of course television, but instead it was used broadcasted on streaming services like Sling TV. Of course, they also had a spot on Fox News, not Fox News, sorry, Fox. And ESPN also showed the commercial. Of course, the 10-part documentary of Michael Jordan and his time during the Bulls era is what a lot of sports fans are watching because they miss sports, but all that's happening is closed, a lot of sporting events. So those fans also familiar with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and Candace Parker, who are basketball superstars. And then we saw that it garnered a lot of views on YouTube in just 3 days. 64,000 on YouTube alone, and 23.5 thousand likes on Twitter, and 5,000 retweets as well. So the campaign results, again, it launched on April 23rd, 2020, which is a couple days old. And it so happened on the day that it launched, Anheuser-Busch, which is the parent company of Budweiser, ended the day in green. After seeing days in red on the stock market, it actually ended on a positive note. And of course, we saw the YouTube views just racked up. Twitter also saw a lot of love for Budweiser's branded account. And we also saw the emergence of the Whassup hashtag. And it was a call to action for people to share their videos and also be part of the campaign and feel like they're part of this PSA. So was this campaign successful? Yes, I would argue yes, because it comes across as genuine that Budweiser as a brand cares about its consumer base without blatantly trying to sell something. If you notice, there was a little bit of product placement. If you watch the 90-second commercial, for time's sake, we won't play it, but go on YouTube, watch it. You'll see that three of the actors are holding a Budweiser in their hand. And of course, it's allowed for collaboration with other organizations like the Salvation Army. Earlier in March, Budweiser also halted its production to, or not halted, but switched over to create hand sanitizers for its workers. It also distributed the hand sanitizers to communities who really need them, especially where they have the plants at. And of course, we saw campaign growth as well. Wade and Union, they resonated with the 1999 version, loved to be part of the 2020 version, and now they've signed up for a second version episode of this campaign. So now it's allowed for even more episodes to be created with this campaign. Of course, digital distribution, there's less on the aesthetic and more on the mode of distribution. So less time was spent on producing it. It was all shot on Zoom, and it was, of course, very popular on social media. Of course, this allows for portfolio growth because Anheuser-Busch does have a stake in the seltzer market. It decided to give love to the king of beers, Budweiser's, to reinforce its beer sales because, of course, beer sales have been dwindling down in the past year because of products like White Claw and Truly being really popular among people who are looking for a low calorie option of alcohol. And so, final thoughts. Do you guys think this was a smart move? And does this create reinforced brand awareness for Budweiser? Has it changed your thoughts on Budweiser? Let me know. All right. Thank you.